you hear the news? Break out the booze. Our summer's no longer boring. A splash is loose, a monster ghoul, and a doll that'll rip your skin off. But if you're having a doubt, just ask aloud. The cult will tell you what we promised. The boys wear their skeletons on their sleeves, and we will give you hot, sexy death summer. We promise.
Hello and welcome to the Skeleton Boys, a horror movie podcast. I am Rolando.
And I'm Johnny. Woo! What an intro theme. That may be the one from last year. Maybe it's a new one. I don't know. I don't know how I don't know. We just listened to it, obviously.
And welcome to our annual summer special, Hot Sexy Death Summer 3D. This year, since it's the third edition. This year we are reviewing Summer of 84. As always, John will give us the plot in 5 words. We'll give our first thoughts, and then we'll go to a deep spoiler analysis. But before we kick off this year's summer fun, go back to TV Corner, watching Chucky, episode 7, Twice the Grieving, Double the Loss.
So,
Yeah.
this episode, what happens? Boy, oh boy, a bunch of things I wasn't interested in.
It's a lot of, this is the second to last episode, right? So there's a lot of like set dressing and a lot of stuff for the final episode, right? Because they're setting up, the mayor's gonna have some sort of event for the town, even though that people are dying. They're gonna show Frankenstein.
Well, she lied, right? She said that they found a lead and they're going to be good or whatever.
Yeah. She's basically the mayor of Jaws. So, which she's, remember, she's Lexi's mom, right? The mayor.
Yes.
I thought the mayor was the other kid, the mom that died last episode, that got pushed herself out of a window. Or
no, she's just a not random, just
Rich.
Junior's mom.
Speaking of Junior, he's now getting groomed.
He is now an orphan.
Huh?
He is now an orphan.
He's now, excuse me. Yeah, you're right. Orphan Junior is getting groomed for Chucky to kill people.
Kill. Yes. That was so intense. I made Rolando cough. I'm sorry.
Yeah, audio's slightly weird this week. It's because I'm still fighting a cold that I had last week. So, we like to kind of keep continuity with shows. That was it. Devin Sawa's wife died last week.
Yes, because she had cancer and she was just going to live her life day by day.
She just had cancer? She didn't have anything else going on in the town?
Nope, stage 4 cancer. That's about it.
Stage 4.
And then that's what they said. And I like how there's a funeral in this episode. Junior gets all up in arms against Jake again, which the more I look at it, the more I'm like, Jake has grown to be much larger than Junior.
Yes, and I feel like I was going to point out, didn't Devin look like he was 50 in this episode?
Yeah, kind of. Like everybody all of a sudden just looked
older.
I don't know. Like
I don't know if they were trying to subtly do something, because for some reason he looked pale, which made him look older. Oh, yeah. You know what I mean? Because I felt like without it being, so I kept just like the scenes I kept waiting to like look at him because it was like he looked odd. He had like an odd appearance in this particular episode that I just couldn't like really focus on anything else. But yeah, he looks like he and Jake have both aged. But more significantly, and Lexi looks like she's ready to start college.
Yeah.
Poor Junior's the only one that looks more or less the same.
Devin will be turning 20 next year.
Okay, so this was filmed, like 2 years ago?
Yeah.
3 years ago. Sorry, right? 3 years ago, roughly?
Jake will be turning... I can't do math that quickly. He's going to be 18 in September. He's not even 18 yet. These kids are so young. Oh, shit. And fucking Lexi is younger by a year. So
yeah,
they're all just young old people.
Right. They have the Saved by the Bell problem.
Yeah. When they wake up in the morning and
yeah.
Their alarm lets off a warning, and they don't think they're gonna make it on time. But by the time they grab their books and get themselves a look, they're at the corner just in time to see the bus fly by. But it's all right because they're saved by the bus.
Yeah. Thank you, John. Thank you for.
All right, that's our show for the evening. Stay tuned next week.
And yeah, what is it, Lexi? You were telling me off air. You didn't like that Lexi's now Jake's best friend.
I just think it's weird. Like literally a day or two ago in this story, she still fucking hated his guts, and now they're best friends because she doesn't have any friends anymore.
Yeah, I guess the idea is that they also have been through a lot. Not that I disagree. I actually liked their story because it could easily be tracked in the show, right? Like if you watch all the episodes, them being friends is not an exaggeration of the truth, really, because it's
true.
You've shown their progression, and now they're like 2 episodes ago they were like they kind of like got on the same team because they wanted to stop Chucky. So now that she's being a little more not friendly, she's being a little bit more empathetic, I guess, to Jake, who Jake wanted to run away, right? Because he has a hard time telling people things. Like if he would just like explain the situation to Junior instead of trying to like pack his shit and run away, then I think he would have.
But I feel like he wanted to do that because Devin was like, "I'm leaving, man."
Oh yeah, that's right.
I don't think we should see. He basically kind of broke up with him before they got together because he's like, "Yeah, my aunt's taking care of me right now, but for like a week, and then I go to a foster home. I don't know where I'm going, but I'm leaving." And Jake's just like, "I can't handle my emotions," so he, instead of making another weird doll out of doll heads, he decided to run away from home finally.
Decided to do us all a favor and just leave.
Yeah.
Town.
Oh, you know what? Because technically he's literally got no parents either. Everybody's dead.
All these parents are dead. Yeah. As cool as it was that, Fiona Dorff was playing younger Chuck, was it Charles Lee Ray? I just don't think any of that stuff works. Like, it's a cool idea that she's like playing, like a younger version. I don't think it works. The voiceover doesn't work. Acting's whatever. It's a choice.
Well, I don't think she's playing a younger version. I think she's playing just Chucky.
Well, she's playing Charles Lee Ray pre-doll. I just don't.
No, she's not. She's playing Charles Lee Ray last movie, 2017.
Huh?
When, like, I don't think she's playing pre-doll. I think she's playing, because Fiona Dorff was in the last major Chucky movie that Don Mancini did. That wasn't the remake.
Right. But she's playing a character named Nika.
Yeah, which was the same character in that movie. I think that's where that comes from. So in the grand scheme of things, it would be recently after Jennifer Tilly got her body back and stuff like that.
What I'm talking about is when she's also doubling as the stand-in for the younger Charles Lee Ray before Jennifer Tilly and Brad Dourif took over. Those scenes when they're like moving to the apartment and they kill the Pizza Hut, I don't know why I said pizza. They killed the pizza delivery guy, and he's like, "Oh, I gotta go," or whatever, stuff like that. Like, she's playing him, Charles Lee Ray, and whatever time that was.
Oh, I don't even think I caught that. I wasn't really paying attention. I thought it was that
I thought you told me.
No.
I thought you were the one that was like, did you know that she's playing both characters? I was like, oh my God.
No, I don't remember saying that. But I guess correct me if I'm wrong later. No, I thought it was that dude that they've been having this whole time.
No, I think because Jennifer Tilly has a younger version too, right? Where she's like,
yes,
she's like, oh, I'm gonna make Swedish meatballs or whatever, and then like she finds out the long-haired Charles Lee Ray is actually Fiona in a costume or whatever. She's playing Charles Lee Ray. Am I crazy? Did I just imagine this, or is this just like?
No, I don't know.
I've been on a lot of medication, but I think
sure.
I'm pretty sure she's doubling as the younger Charles Lee Ray, Fiona Dorff, and playing the character Nika.
That for sure, yeah, because that's always been like she switches back and forth because of the personality or his soul's in her, or whatever.
Right? And because
because of the last movie, but,
it's I thought like it was kind of obvious because like Tiffany's voice is clearly over an actor. Like it sounds like it's purposely done to be voiceovered, and so is Bradley Dorff's voice are over those two actors that are playing younger versions of themselves. And one of those actors is Fiona Dorff because, like, oh, it's his daughter and he's playing a man.
Oh, okay. Sure. I guess, like, I just didn't pay attention to that stuff. I'm not terribly interested in the backstory part.
Yeah, neither am I. Like, I was like, I find it, like, it's kind of a funny, like, ha ha ha, you got his daughter to play a younger version. It's cute. It's creative, you know? But yeah. The fact that we keep returning to it and it's kind of like the same thing over and over again. Like, it's like, oh, they like to kill people. Okay. Now they kind of don't like each other. Okay. Like, I'm not quite seeing, like, I know where we're going with it. I'm imagining because they're gonna, I think at that timeline, when they're that age, he's gonna split his soul up, Voldemort style up, is what I'm imagining is gonna happen. They're gonna show it. So we have a better understanding, because I feel like this whole latter half of these episodes have been concentrated on the mystery surrounding how Chucky split up his soul and what is his true motive, which now the kids are kind of thinking along those lines because they want to know what his his master plan, like why is he getting people to kill people and stuff like that.
Yeah. I don't know why they decided to start thinking that, to be honest. I mean, I'm sure it's just to continue the series. Mm-hmm. You know, I think I'm trying to think too logically about this. I'm just like, if I was in that position, I don't think I'd be worried about why the fuck he's killing people.
Right.
Probably just want to not be around.
Like if you're one of the kids, you'd be like, I don't know. I don't know who exactly you'd want to play. Who would you want to play out of the kids?
I would want to be the kid that comes in going like, Nintendo, like that.
You'd be the pragmatic one. Like, we got to get out of here. There's death going on. We got to run out of this town immediately.
You guys are fucking mental. What is going on?
Why are we sticking around? The doll burnt down Lexi's house. We got to go. Is that...
Couple of things. It's a fucking doll. Put some fucking sticky traps all over the floor. I don't know.
Sticky trap. He'll be able to catch him like a pigeon.
We're all gonna carry a bottle of hairspray and a fucking lighter, and we're gonna burn the shit out of this plastic doll.
Why are we scared of this doll? I don't understand. Yeah.
It's like, oh, we think Chucky pushed your mom out that window. I'm like, isn't that thing like 5 inches of fucking plexi? How strong is this doll? What is...
Doesn't matter. We are getting on the next bus out of this fucking town. Yeah.
I'm gonna get on that bus alone and be like, you know what, fuck it, no looking back. I'll just look at every corner, make sure I don't see a stupid doll, and then I'll be like, all right, I'm in the clear. And the bus driver says, oh, sorry, there seems to be a tree knocked over the road here, and there are all these black crows flying in the air. Motherfucker. All right, let's go.
Fuck it. I'll take my chances. At least this place makes sense. There's no fucking dolls here.
They're like, the thing is, like, you have to stay home for about 10 to 12 hours a day. I'm like, no problem here.
Yeah.
At night, fuck off. I can only go out during the day. This sucks.
Yeah. For the uninitiated, we're talking about the premise of From.
At least there are no stupid little dolls that'll randomly pop up. Well, there is this dancing doll.
There is a doll in it.
Damn it. This is bullshit. There's also like a marionette or like a ventriloquist dummy. You're fucking with me, right?
Yeah.
Do they stab people? No. All right. Well, all right.
Just randomly shows up in your dreams.
Yeah. You know, I drink enough every day.
It's enough. You won't be able to see. I don't know what that guy was making in his makeshift bar. Okay, we're talking about From too much. It's reel it home.
So what?
So you were a little disappointed because you feel like nothing happened this episode.
Yeah, kind of. What, Junior kills Devon Sawa.
I mean, that's kind of a big moment for the show, right? Like,
yeah, because that's what I was saying. It's such a waste of Devon Sawa, in my opinion.
Yeah. I kind of almost feel like they're insinuating maybe he needs to kill people so his soul can go into these dolls. Did you catch that?
I don't understand. Yeah, I guess that's why the kids are also trying to figure out his end game. That way the story could progress.
Yeah.
Because I guess we don't know.
Probably lastly, would just say Devin went to Charles Lee Ray's house and Nika was there, but Nika's in the Charles Lee Ray form. So now, basically Devin got kidnapped and he's the damsel, and Jake and Lexi are going to have to go save him, I'm assuming. And there's also some big hack and slash town thing that I'm assuming is going to be part of the finale.
So that moment when Nika turns into Charles Lee Ray.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
She was Charles Lee Ray, right?
Yes, the whole time, yeah. And knocks out oh my god, what's his name? Devin. That was the thing I accidentally saw like 4 or 5 episodes ago.
Oh, okay.
I was like, no, I saw a thing, so I don't know. I think it's present day. When we couldn't figure out the timeline, I just didn't want to ruin it. And I'm already like hinting at something else I saw because I accidentally saw the beginning of season 2. I don't know what happened on my Amazon Prime. It skipped episode. It skipped the last 2 episodes and went straight to season 2, and I have no idea why. Because I went back and it said I hadn't even watched like those last 2 episodes, like they weren't unwatched, and it skipped to season 2, episode 1, and I was like, "What the fuck did I miss? What is this cold open?" And I was like, "Hold on," and I paused and I'm like, "Oh, okay, well, I'm just gonna keep ruining shit for myself. It's Yellow Jackets all over again."
Oh, we should probably mention last thing before we move to the movie. Andy leaves his stepsister and what was her name? Kyle, right? Kylie or something like that. Kyle, and goes to the house of the Wheelers and Junior and Chucky see Andy get into the house. Because I think Andy's it's set up to look like Andy's doing that whole thing where he pretends to be somebody he's not and tries to destroy the doll and stuff. So Andy could die. Unlikely. But true. Yeah, he's now in hack and slash. Hack and sack. I keep saying hack and slash, but that's not right. Hack and sack.
No, there's no any more slicing. You just hack him once and then you put him in the sack.
I keep thinking of the fucking comic book Hack and Slash. It's just old memories.
Well, that's Chucky. We got one more episode. We finished our review of this episode at measure 666 on our recording devices.
Yeah. Alrighty. All right, John. Let's head to the beach. Hot, Sexy Death Summer 3D.
There will be no beach in this feature.
Yes. Let's go to the main review of Summer 84. John, do you want to give us the plot in 5 words?
Johnny, 5 word plot summary.
Rolando, drum roll, please. For Hot Sexy Death Summer, we got Summer of 84. Coming in at number 3, Stranger Things Have Happened.
Good.
Coming in at number 2, John Carpenter's Suburban Screams feature.
I had that exact thought. Thank you.
Yeah.
We were totally thinking the same thing. Good.
And coming in at number 1, Rolando is a little baby.
What? What's that?
It was like it's summer of 84.
That's true.
You're just a little baby.
I was born at some point.
I think if this is proper summer, then you were maybe like a month old or something, right? couple of months old.
Yes. Truly summer. Summer of '84.
An international film. Just kidding. From Canada.
Yeah, we found out this was shot in Canada. I feel like they should have leaned into the Canadianisms instead of like making it a small town anywhere.
USA.
Yeah, anywhere kind of thing. I was gonna say USA, but it's like it was Canadian. John, give me your first thoughts on Summer of '84.
I feel like we're going to differ. I did not mind this at all. You know, there's always something to be said about a film that has to have 3 directors. This means usually bad news.
Oh, 3 great ideas all the time.
Yeah, this could have been better. Again, for having 3 directors and 2 writers, it just didn't feel like the story was very cohesive. Everything was a little on the nose, but I will give it that I did like the ending.
Right. Okay.
Otherwise, there's too many like weird red herrings. But yeah, I don't know.
Okay. As you alluded to, I did not like this movie. I've actually tried to figure out what it is about it that I didn't like.
Is it every single person in this is white?
No, that's pretty normal. But
except for Officer Cole, he's the cool guy because he's the black cop. So I was like, okay.
Of course. I think it just okay. Naming so what I've kind of landed on is okay. So Summer of '84. It's supposed to invoke some sort of nostalgia, right? Like Summer of '84. It's supposed to be like we're talking about E.T. We're talking about movies with kids in it. So it's like Breakfast Club, Pretty in Pink, Goonies, some sort of like.
Wasn't a whole lot of that. I get what you're saying.
No,
ambiguous small town USA.
Not that they're similar, but they like it's a movie made in that spirit. Not that they're trying to like mimic or like rip off those movies, but it's like about it.
No, I'm on board with you. I was just gonna piggyback off of you saying this. I don't get why they made it small town USA and not like make it just Canadian. Because otherwise, I kept forgetting that it was supposed to be 1984.
Yeah, and because it's about 4 kids growing up in suburban USA, even though it's shot in Canada. I know we're harping on that, but it's just kind of a funny detail. But it's played in a way that is just so like nothing about this movie felt personal. Does that make sense? Like it just felt like the feelings I used to get watching these movies is what they made the movie about. They made it about the nostalgia. And so none of this feels personal. None of it feels real. So anything happening with the characters feels a little contrived. And I think it's because I think a lot of the characters are underwritten, you know?
Yeah.
They have a character named Eats and Woody, and they're all sort of obsessed with the hot neighbor girl who's like barely a person or in this movie, you know?
It's super Monster Squad-y.
Right.
Like Eats is the kid with the hard life who's tough as nails. Never got that.
Yeah.
You know, you got
it's all vague.
The chubby kid.
It's
okay.
It's all very vague, right? It's like I think there's a scene where I just want to mention the chubby kid is probably the only actor I really liked aside from who ends up being the bad guy. Yeah.
And I don't want to call him the chubby kid anymore. So his name is Caleb Emery. Woody.
He felt most like authentic in it.
Yeah.
I just feel like a lot of these things are just sort of broadly painted, so I couldn't connect to any of it, and so I was not invested in the story. I did not care what was happening, the plot, the mystery, or whatever was happening with these characters and stuff. So literally, like I'm like falling asleep, and I'm looking at how much time is left, and I'm looking at it. I'm like, I have like 50 more minutes of this movie, and I'm like, oh my god,
it's a long movie.
It feels like a long movie. I think
I stayed up till like 2 watching this, thinking I could like get away with it from like 12 to 1:30 or something. I was like, no.
I think it's
fucked up.
A movie that tries to invoke that feeling without ever not necessarily doing the work of actually making interesting characters for you to invest in. I think that's kind of my biggest issue, because this movie just feels like every possible cliche you can gather, right?
Yeah, I mean, there is a lot of trivia that seems that the fans have seemed to have written, not somebody from production.
Allegedly.
Pointing out the most minute detail that nobody would even give a shit about. I wanted to mention Caleb Emery, right?
Mm-hmm.
His nickname is Woody, and he's a taller guy, about 6 foot, and he's young, about 6 foot with curly hair, which is funny because one of my friends that I call Woody is like about 6 foot or so with curly hair.
Wow. Yeah.
You
I know Woody.
yeah.
Yeah, I've met Woody. It's
a little bit of trivia. There's a character. I'm fucking around, by the way. There's Judah Lewis plays a character named Tommy Eats Eaton, and Caleb Emery plays a character named Del Woody Woodworth. When you put them together in a group, they are Eats Woody. It's a dick joke.
Whatever you do, guys, do not look at the IMDb trivia, please.
It's really bad. Yeah, it's funny. This is like if fucking Arnold Schwarzenegger directed this movie and he was like, so when the boys are in the clubhouse talking to Nikki, Tommy's seen drinking a bottle of Macari's.
Yeah.
Anyway,
but
if you guys get the reference, every time Arnold Schwarzenegger did the DVD commentary for one of his movies, he would just exposition the shit out of everything because he thought that was.
I do want to note that I did like Richard Summers' character, Wayne, the cop, who...
Oh,
he's a great actor. He's a really good actor.
Great.
Yeah, he was... I guess he famously played... he played somebody on The Office. He tries to get with Pam while she's away at art school.
That's right. Yeah.
That's like my earliest. That's like the first role I can think of him in. But he's popped up a lot of places. He's really solid.
He's been around. Yeah.
And for the character that he's playing, it's almost like that's a really good. That's actually, I'll give him credit for that. Like that's actually a good cast choice for that part.
Yeah. He was in Mad Men. He played Harry Crane from 2007 to 2015.
Yep. You know, I've never seen Mad Men.
Prada.
Have you seen Mad Men?
Oh, it's okay. I mean, it's great in case I get yelled at.
By who? The internet? What are you afraid of?
By the Mad Men. What are you talking about?
It's okay. I mean, I just haven't seen it. It's one of those shows that I just never watched. Okay. Do you have any other thoughts or opinions about Summer of '84?
He was in the newer Wet Hot American Summer. That's right. Then he was on the TV show Love.
Oh yeah, I didn't finish that. I'm still watching it. Still trying to watch that.
He voiced somebody on Adventure Time. Now everybody likes him.
Yeah, I mean, this is basically like the story's kind of a play. That's several types of tropes in movies, right? Like the suspicious neighbor. So Rear Window, The Burbs.
Yeah. There's something just a little too I get what you're saying. It doesn't feel genuine because you're trying to be too many things at once because like, oh, I love this movie. Like these three guys are like, I really love Quentin Tarantino and this is what he does and it works. It's
right. Yeah. It's kind of like
it barely works for that guy, to be honest.
Yeah. This movie feels like it's seen all the movies from that time that were popular and this is what it's come up with. Like, look at what I'm doing. I'm showing you all the things that you're familiar with. That's why like a hidden nostalgia, right? That's why I was kind of saying that. But yes, it's essentially like there's a serial killer out on the loose. It's happening this one summer and
you know, it's kind of a bummer for kid actors these days and it's not their fault. Like when I watch these kids and I know this movie, it came out like 2018, so it's fairly new. I don't believe them not knowing what a cell phone is. There's something about the way they act. Like they have no relationship with the stuff around them. Because, you know, when we were growing up in the 90s, all the shit around us, we would play with everything because it was there.
Right. And
now that everybody has phones, you're just kind of, everything's on this device now.
Yeah, because it's funny you mentioned that about the phone because like there's even a scene where it's like, he tells a character, my phone has a long cord. Like basically, I'm going to bring you my phone, which is true, but that's also like something that was like not something you would say, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's not really something to be mentioned. It's just sort of like another, it's 80s.
Yeah, I got a real long cord.
Yeah.
Stay right here. Yeah, because cordless phones didn't pop up till the 90s, right? Yeah, I'm assuming. It sounds like the sleuths in the trivia section would have caught this, but definitely not people that worked on the phone.
Yeah, like, so I just, I just, things like that. It's kind of like,
yeah,
it's,
I get what you're saying.
it's kind of like, you watch movies, quote unquote, set in the 80s, and they're like, they have posters and it's Evil Dead 2, or they have The Thing, and I'm like, come on, dude. Like, those movies, famously, The Thing bombed the summer it came out. Famously. Like it destroyed, and maybe I'm exaggerating a little bit, but it did no favors for John Carpenter's career, that summer. And it was not a hit at all. People didn't understand it, and it was too violent, and it was, had a bleak ending. Fans were not running to it during that summer. So, like, for him to have a poster up in these movies that I'm telling you, or Evil Dead 2, right? Like, even Evil Dead 2 has always been a cult movie.
Yeah. Well, Evil Dead 2 did have a bigger release. It was the first Evil Dead that it's bullshit that people knew what it was.
Right.
Well, I guess Wes Craven fucking made it famous because of Nightmare on Elm Street.
But it wasn't like they were showing it at every malls and there was lines out the fucking Cineplexes for Evil Dead 2, like there were for Jaws, Star Wars, E.T., any of these other like touchstones from the 80s. I'm just saying, like, for them to be like, oh, I like these movies. It's clearly somebody from now, because those movies are much more loved and appreciated now, that are saying like, look, this kid's cool because he has stuff that you like now. Yeah. So it's one of those. That's kind of like another way of describing how this movie doesn't feel genuine.
Yeah, and you remember, you're growing up as a kid and you're like, hell yeah, in your 2-story house, with your binoculars just peeking out the window. Yeah. Normal kid activities.
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyway.
And I felt like nothing was like funny or nothing. Excuse me 1 second. Nothing was really like funny enough, or like there wasn't enough mystery or horror or like action going on at any point that I was compelled to continue watching the movie, other than the fact that we, chose it to watch it for this review. So that's kind of where I land on my feelings for the movie.
Yeah. I mean, we've even got this like one, the neighbor that had babysat our, I guess he's kind of the leader of the group. He's kind of like the fucking, what's his name from Bill from It Kids or whatever.
Or fucking, what is it? The Stand By Me kids.
Fred Savage.
Fucking.
Yeah. Any of the kids. Really.
Yeah. Exactly.
It just didn't. There's this whole thing about they all think the perfect woman is his neighbor who used to babysit him, and she's in the movie. And then that's kind of where it just lands. She's just kind of in the movie, and then she's kind of there to pop up once in a while and just be a weird jump scare.
Yeah.
And then make the kid seem cooler for nostalgia's sake. I don't know. I didn't understand. It felt like a waste of a character where she's supposed to be cool, but also her whole basis of the character is just to be objectified.
Yeah, clearly written by a man. Like it's
a woman, perhaps two. Written
by a man, so she's like the perfect woman, right? She says and does all these things that are sexually suggestive and confident and like into the nerdiest guy of the group.
She's cool.
She's cool.
Her parents fight all the time. Like, okay.
Yeah.
And this is all stuff we learn, not even from her. This is stuff we learn because he's overhearing his parents' phone conversation, or he's hearing this, or he's hearing that. You never learn this from this character.
Yeah. It's just like reality's a little more messy, and like it's plus this movie, like you said, it tells you, it doesn't show you, which is, we kind of like what they teach us, what they tried to teach us at school. Yeah. Right. Well, yeah. Write what you know and show it. Don't tell it. So
yeah, This movie did have 3 directors, though.
That's true. Just 2 of them are brothers. So, or they have the same last name. Thought. 2 of them do.
I mean, what else can we say?
The soundtrack was pretty good too. You know, I like a synthy soundtrack. You know, I'm not gonna be critical of a synthy soundtrack. So
yeah. We also get the Eats character is supposed to be the rebel kid,
right?
He's the main character in the Babysitter series, the first and second one.
Okay.
And then he also was in Suitable Flesh.
Oh,
he was the kid.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he was much more tolerable here.
yeah. I mean, I do like him in The Babysitter also, but yeah, I get what you're
Suitable Flesh. It did take a second to kind of like get into his character. I wasn't like completely like zoned in on what he was doing at first, but I think I came around on it.
Yeah,
didn't recognize him. Not to go off topic. Did you tell our friend of the show how tall he is in Suitable Flesh, Jonah Rodriguez?
Oh, I did. I did say like, hey, a couple things we thought we discovered about you. I was like, that you're pretty fucking tall, and immediately was like, yep, I'm a fucking giant. It's true. Blind people don't realize that. I'm like, yeah, dude. And then the second thing is like, your last name, you're Latino. He's like, no. I wonder how many times I've mentioned this in the podcast now.
Not enough. I like to hear it.
Be disappointed. Just that he was like, no, I'm sorry. I'm Portuguese, still pretty white. Sorry to lie to you. It's all right.
In Suitable Flesh, he's literally like the size of the door. So it's just like
yeah.
Whatever fucking the stage door they had. Dude, oh my god, he was like gonna bump his head into the seat to the fucking entrance of the door. Pretty crazy. Anyways.
I kept making that joke about and I know this is off topic, but in Fallout, Elias, what's his name? Elias Moti. What the fuck's his name? The kid from Hannah Montana.
Yes, the short kid, the real short kid. Yeah.
Yes.
The brother.
I was telling my partner as we were watching a couple of the episodes, like, look at this. He's walking around this room full of people. That means everybody's super fucking short in this one shot so he can walk around because he is 4'11". I think I was blowing some minds because I was like, holy shit, that means everybody's super short in the shot. I'm like, yeah. You're going to like be working around grips and all these other guys are probably like 6 foot something and everybody's medium height is like 5'5". But yeah. Anyway.
Yeah. No, he's super short. So, good actor though.
You can't cast Jonah Ray against that guy.
That'd be fun. That'd be really fun.
A remake of My Giant or something.
Alrighty. Did you have any other thoughts, or do you want to go to spoilers?
Yeah, I do have one with that. I want to remake Simon Birch with that guy who is Jonah Ray. There you go. That was my
final spoiler. Oh man, that's good. That's going. All right, let's go to spoiler.
Wait! No, stop talking, guys. Stop the podcast. Please stop the podcast. Because we're about to go into spoilers.
Spoilers. It was the guy they suspected all along.
Yeah, it was the cop. So I guess we
cool reveal.
You explain, like they immediately suspect the cop who's being like maybe a little too nice, has a suspicious basement,
has known them since they moved into the neighborhood 15 years ago.
Right, yeah.
Before he was born.
Which is why I said like Rich Sommer playing that part is perfect because he just comes off as just like a really sweet, nice, genuine guy. Yeah. Average looking, not average looking, but average and like, hey, I'm a guy. I like to watch football on the weekends or something. I don't know. It's just, he's very can appear very normal, like straight laced. And so he was perfect to cast as the cop, the neighbor cop that is the killer. Didn't like to see the fat boy get it, or what was his name? Woody? Yeah. And they have that
Caleb Emery
sweet moment where like he what is it? He
says, I'm not gonna let you die, no, not on my watch, blah blah, and then like 3 minutes
takes
later,
care of his mom,
the cop cuts his throat open.
Looks like she's working like, I don't know, 100 shifts or whatever, and she's tired all the time.
Yeah.
He like tucks her in, gives her a goodnight kiss, and like he drives them around. He really was kind of like both the most believable character of the bunch.
Yeah.
And he dies. That boy gets it. And
this fucks up the kid because the kid, probably should have died too. He got stabbed in the leg, so it took him a while to get to him.
Well, see, that's where I feel like the ending is a little like doesn't make sense because it's like he's like, run away, I'll lead him away, and then he catches up to the fat kid, stabs him by the cop car that he brought, and I'm sure this is a budget thing. They didn't have any other sets or anywhere else to set up. That he comes back to the cop car, that set where he sees his friend dead.
Well, we could also argue that the cop just drove the car there. I think the cop knew the only logical route they could take without having to go back straight into the middle of the island.
I guess so. It just seemed like it was the same set, but from like a different angle. Like it was
maybe. But that's what I gathered. Like the cop had driven the car because he knew where they might end up, which would be where he's been dumping all the bodies.
Okay, yeah.
And then that's why you could hear him right there saying, "I know where you're at." And it just took the other kid too long to figure out where the cop car was, and then the other kid got stabbed in the leg.
Well, yeah, I think I will give the movie this credit that it does subvert expectations, right? Like once the kids decide to go and see what he has behind a locked door or something, they have the presence of mind to be like, okay, well, you bring a video camera, film it, give it to the cops, and the cops, there isn't this like scene where like, we don't believe you, he's a well-respected member of the community.
I was waiting for that, by the way, because it's just like they're showing the footage and they're like, oh, you saying you saw this in his house? And immediately I was like, I don't know, why don't you ask the fucking kid that survived where he was at?
Exactly.
The kid that they pulled a person that's alive from that basement. Maybe ask him. I don't know. But
you could imply he left him there because Nikki's like,
no, they mentioned like if it wasn't for these kids, this other kid would be dead right now, or they saved his life.
I almost took it so like. Because the way they worded it didn't imply that they rescued him, the kid that was kidnapped. It just sort of says like you saved his life, right? So it's like I almost want to believe like Nikki said like we have to get out of here. And then he's like, oh, I know what to do. And then they cut to them showing the cops, right?
Oh no, there was that in between scene where the Emery and the girl that's there to be a hot girl, are carrying that guy, and then that's when our main dude is like, wait, and he pays attention to the family photos because he wants to like dick around in the fucking house that he shouldn't be in.
Oh yeah.
And he sees all the things like these are all his victims.
You're right.
Which is funny because I don't know if you caught, but one of them is John Wayne Gacy. Is it? Just kidding. That's in the trivia. It's a joke. They're clearly written by production.
Yeah. You know what, dude? Sometimes things I'm not interested in, I check out of. So, you're right. You're right about that. They did have that moment where like he sees, which is important for like the end, right? That like he sees this picture of his family. He takes people's, his victims.
Oh, and he sees his picture. Yeah.
Right. He takes his victims' pictures and hangs them on his wall and pretends they're family or some shit.
But I was waiting for that, what you're talking about, for them to be like, we don't believe you, blah blah blah. But it was like, you're saying you took this footage at his basement or whatever, and they're like, yeah, and then immediately the chief of police is like, let's go get this sick motherfucker.
Yeah.
Whatever the fuck you said. I'm like, okay.
I almost thought the next scene was going to be like either the house burned down or like that whole place was cleaned, like it was nothing in there anymore.
That's what I thought too.
So stupid. Like what?
Not the subtle hints that are given to us in the trivia. The cop had helped move a bunch of stuff into his attic 15 years prior, and that's where he hid because he knew where to hide.
Okay.
Because the family's not going to move any of their stuff in 15 years up there. That's how families work.
Okay. Yeah.
And I like how they're all like, you guys are safe now, but there's nobody fucking protecting the house. So he's able to knock them both out and then, like put him in the cop car that he had blacked the windows out of. Is that what happened? Like
that's I don't know. I understand like if people are like, he's clearly a very wanted, guilty. They're on a manhunt. He's driving around in a cop car. Like, I don't understand how we get to the scenes where, Woody dies and then I guess the main character has that scene. Another cool, I think another good thing was the actual ending kind of subverts it a bit. You want to tell us about that?
Yeah, well, our cop that for some reason I wanted to actually win does end up winning, kind of. He kills his friend. He's like, oh, I want to kill you so badly, but killing you is not enough. So I want you to be looking over your shoulder for the rest of your life, scared, waiting for me. And that moment when you can't take it anymore, I'll be right there to finally kill you or whatever. So he's like royally fucked this kid over for the rest of his life. And it seems like the kid's narrating like, the most fucked up shit happens in suburban neighborhoods, blah, blah, blah. And it's just kind of weird because like, I don't know why somebody would just be thinking about shit like that. But he's riding his bike, doing his rounds with the newspaper. So I'm assuming time has passed because his leg isn't fucked up from being stabbed. And it looks like he's no longer friends with anybody anymore because he's afraid of everything. Mm-hmm. It looked like the neighbor girl was moving away. I don't know. That's what I figured from the car, which makes sense. Like, I don't know why anybody wouldn't want to stay in that neighborhood.
I think they made mention that they were moving. They weren't going to stay there because their parents were divorcing. So I think they made some kind of
that's right,
comment about that.
But yeah, that's kind of it. It's just him. He stops in front of the house that's still got police tape around it. Oh, that's right. He rides his bike past her house that has a foreclosure sign on it. And then sees hit the cop's house and just kind of stares at it. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
That's it. And then it just basically mirrors the opening shot and then it cuts to dark and that's it.
I think it is important to note that he was the most excited for some crazy shit to happen because he was super into like National Enquirer type of crap and
that's right,
murders and stuff like that. He had like newspaper clippings all over his walls, and I guess they allude that his neighbor, the beautiful woman, character, had given him his first like booklet of weird shit.
That's right, to write in, gave him a thing to write his something in there, whatever.
That's that. So our killer gets away. That's the rest of his life.
Yeah. Pretty fun idea, but I mean, again, like it's unfortunately like it doesn't land because the rest of the movie is kind of very just blah. Alrighty. Do you want to rate it?
Yeah.
Okay. John, how many sexy spooky bones do you want to give it?
How many sexy spooky bones will you give it? Sexy bones. Ooh, sexy bones. Well, I know what you need. Show us your sexy spooky bones.
No, wait, don't do that. Just rate the movie. I'm going to give Hot Sexy Death Summer of 84 5.5 sexy spooky bones.
Yeah. I think I made it clear. I liked it least, so I'm going to give it a 3. Yeah. I just did not at all vibe with this movie whatsoever. So I'll give it 3 sexy spooky bones. Great. We're off to a rockin' start this summer movie.
I don't know. There's still time to change. There's still time to change your mind about what year you want next Pix version.
What?
Which version of that movie you want to watch?
Oh, I know. No. I have quite good nostalgia for what we're gonna watch next. I have good memories with that movie. Good. So yeah, I think we'll be in for a treat. All right, guys, gals, non-binary pals, thank you for listening, and as always,
stay spooky. Goodbye.
To give you exactly what